going to get scammed. You're going to get scammed your entire life. And I think you already know this, right? You go to the grocery store and it says organic or grass-fed, but it's really not. You got scammed. You get scammed via text on your phone all the time. There's scammers everywhere, right, guys? I mean, let's be honest. It's a problem. It's a serious problem. And that's why I know when you get on this platform and you see me and I'm talking about supplements and I'm talking about getting healthy and blood pressure and cholesterol and blood sugar problems just going away and menopause symptoms just dissolving and the waistline just completely going, you don't believe me because you've been scammed. And you understand that scammers exist and you understand that there's scammers everywhere. And I get it because I've been there too. I've been through that situation. I've dealt with people who've lied to me. I've dealt with people who've sold me something and it's not what it really was supposed to be. You're not alone. You're not alone. But if you've been flipping through the TikTok, through the Facebook, through all the stuff, and you see these little packets, these little supplements that people are talking about, and you're like, too good to be true, it is a scam. Boom, it's not. Maybe the person that you're seeing is exaggerating. Maybe they're candy coating it. Maybe they're doing all these things that really freak you out, that push you over the edge, that are super salesy, stuff like that, that makes it really feel like negative energy and feel like a scam. I get that. Let me sell you straight. This is what I looked like before. Okay. I am a mom. I am 45 and I have 4 children. This is what I look like now. This. Guys, this. Do you understand this? This is size 2 and 0. This is size 10s. That's the difference. Now, I didn't get in this for weight loss. I got in this for health. I got in this because I was on 2 blood pressure medications and omeprazole for over 15 years. That is a long time. And there's long-term side effects to using medication for long-term. And I didn't want those side effects or those problems. I was wanting to get off the medication. I am now off of the 3 prescriptions. I'm on 0 prescriptions. I am down to this, right? Instead of this. So if you want to learn more, I'll be live tonight, 4 p.m. Central. Click on the link, join us.
What if someone said today, Roark, that actually was a lie, that she is not live 4 p.m. Central Time, but instead she is live 8 p.m. Eastern Time tonight? Hope she doesn't mind, but I happened to steal that off of her TikTok, our lucky guest we got tonight, and I forgot to get that cut off before she was announcing that. But Mr. Roark, it's nice to see you tonight, brother. How are you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Good to see you. I don't think our fearless leader. That's what I call her, our fearless leader. I don't think she would mind us using her video at all.
No, I hope not. Like I said, I remember our past guests. I've kind of cut up some things. That was all of her editing right there. I can't take any credit from any of that. But you are looking at episode 3 of Spilling the Tea. You may wonder where we have been. I promise we've still been planning and thinking about some things. But, man, it's been a little crazy here in the Tri-County area. It's pushing 2 months ago now that, listen, the tornado, I got to take this off screen. Roark, the tornado got entirely too close to our house. We were very fortunate. It missed our house by maybe 100 yards. I live in Somerset here. And then again, as everybody knows locally, it traveled 50-some miles, and it hit London and devastated London. And thoughts and prayers are still with all of those families. And I believe it was 21 or 23 lives was taken on that. And one's too many, but again, we're still thinking and praying for all the communities. And, I don't ever want to get that close to another one, Roark.
No, you definitely were close when I come over there to check you out, make sure everything was good, and so many lives have been affected by that, and there's been so many great things happen from that. It's been nice to see our communities kind of come together in Somerset and in London. To kind of come together to try to lift these people up, and that's what we need to keep doing.
Amen to that. Amen to that. So we have took a little bit of a hiatus, but we are back, and I would like to share with you guys. Sorry, let me get my face. There we go. Tonight, we are going to have Jennifer Truckenbrod. She is from Illinois. Believe it or not, she's a whole heck of a lot smarter than me because she is a pharmacist. I chose to go into the teaching profession, but she is a pharmacist, so she has pushed pills her whole career. And I think that's what's going to make tonight very interesting because I think you're actually going to hear a pharmacist that maybe isn't going to be pushing the pills, which is kind of different to think about. Again, just like every episode, if you have any questions or want to see any of the studies, UNISTI does a great job of having some clinical validation studies, and you can scan the QR code or take a screenshot currently of your screen and go to that QR code and see those studies. Again, as I mentioned, Jennifer, she's a career as a pharmacist. She was on 5 medications at age 35. Currently, 0 medications. She reversed early menopause symptoms, and she's down 20 plus pounds. Who knows the exact amount? I'm sure she'll share it tonight. But again, without any further ado, I would like to bring on to the scene Miss, or let's see, should we say Miss or Doctor? I think I'm going to say Doctor. Dr. Jennifer Truckenbrod. So,
Hello, everybody.
hello, Jen. How are you doing?
Good. So glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, not a problem. Again, I figure me and Roark both like to invite people that either A, have a whole lot better in story than us, or 2, that's a whole heck of a lot smarter than us. And so here you are. You're a lot smarter than us, and you probably have a pretty good story as well, which I'm familiar with you a little bit because, again, I've seen you on a lot of social medias. You go live. It seems like anytime I pull up TikTok, it seems like you're live, so which is kind of unique. But why don't you tell our listeners and people tuning in this evening a little bit about yourself, what it is that you do, and sort of, your story a little bit.
Well, I've been a pharmacist for over 20 years. I've been a pharmacist since 2003. I worked in the pharmacy profession since 1998. And I actually came across this system flipping along TikTok. And the reason I actually stopped and listened is because of the big Ozempic craze. So in the last 5 years, Ozempic, all the injections have just become so big. And I was having patients come into the pharmacy who were really, really struggling with the side effects from the injections. Blindness, like the gut paralysis. Like I literally met someone who had to have part of their intestines removed, blacking out, just absolute crazy. And then, of course, the small side effects like the nausea, the vomiting, all that stuff. They couldn't tolerate it. People who had been on it for months at a time with 0 weight loss, it not even working to help them lose any weight. And
Wow.
it was just crazy. Now, in my hometown, I'm kind of known as a hippie. You know, I got the lava beads on. I wear essential oils. Okay. So when people would come to the pharmacy, they would say, well, what's the more natural solution? What can I do instead of
Yeah.
these injections? And my answer was, I don't
Don't
know.
know. Yeah. Yeah. That's valid point. I'd say that was kind of hard to
Right?
say then. Yeah.
Yeah, it's frustrating. And you're the one person they come to for the answers. And as being the all natural girl, I wanted a more all natural solution. And that's how I was like flipping through TikTok like we all are. And I heard a truck driver talking about reversing insulin problems, blood sugar problems, diabetes going away. I mean, the list he was naming, and I'm like, there's no way. And then,
Let me
yeah,
stop you just real quick right there. Number one, if you are watching this, I see we got 11 people. Please comment. I'm still working out. Okay, Sarah, I am about positive you are not my friend. So that was great to see Sarah comment. Hello, everyone. I just want to tell everybody that's tuning in because I've been having problems with that. If you have a question for Dr. Jen, again, she's a pharmacist. Please put it in there. We want it to sort of run our show, to be honest with you. And we want to use this hour with her the best we can because, again, she's taking a lot of time out to be with us. So if you have a specific question, please ask that. And before you continue on with this truck driver and your story, is this truck driver Marcus? Okay, so the only thing that I want to bring up about this is Marcus, as you know, lives in New Mexico, and he was our first person on the show. And you
yes,
live in Illinois. So
yes.
what about Marcus as you continue the story. What about Marcus being a truck driver and you're a pharmacist? Like, that's two polar opposite things I could ever think about. What made a pharmacist buy from a truck driver?
It's a great question. So I was sitting here and I flipped, and he literally just, I can't remember the exact words of what he said, but basically he was like, this product is helping my friends no longer suffer from type 2 diabetes, and I've lost over 100 pounds. And I just stopped. And I'm like, wait, what? And then I listened, and he's talking about, he's an over the road truck driver. He's sitting in his truck, and the small town that I live in basically is a truck stop. Okay. There's truckers all over the place. And I see the health issues that they are suffering from. You can see it, right? You know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I'm not a truck driver, but I guarantee, yeah. I know what you're
and they're
about.
stopping in my pharmacy, en route, and picking up a whole bunch of, and they're on a laundry list of medication.
And
And
every
so when
gas
he
station.
said that, yeah. And so when he said that, I paid attention, and I just sat there like a creeper in the background and just listened and just listened and just listened. And then I finally reached out to him and asked a couple questions. And I said, all right, I want to meet these people that you've helped. I want to meet these people that don't have type 2 anymore. I want to meet these people that have lost 100 pounds like you. I want to meet them. And so he did. He started introducing me to people, giving me phone numbers, sending me their profiles so I could see their videos, their before and afters. I got to talk to him on the phone. He spent 6 months sending me information before I even thought about buying it.
So it kind of goes back to your intro video that I played tonight. Like, did you think you was being scammed? Like, let's be honest.
Well, yeah, I was like, this is too good to be true. And he kept introducing me to people who were doing so amazing. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe it worked for him. And maybe he was also doing carnivore, and maybe this and maybe that. And I kept thinking in the back of my head, okay, I'll look up a little bit more science. I'll look up some more ingredients. I started researching. He's sending me the clinical trials and the studies and all the stuff. And I'm like, damn it, this looks legit. You know?
So
That's all I could say. And when he'd call me on the phone, that's all the answer I had. And he goes, "It is, Jen. Buy it." That was his response. Yeah.
And so okay, you ended up buying it, and then I know when Marcus was on the show, he mentioned that he bought it, and it basically continued to sit over on his counter for 2 more months, like he didn't even start with. What's your story like when you bought it? Was you like, okay, I'm gonna give this an honest go, or was you still skeptical even when it came in the mail?
No, when I bought it, okay. Well, when I bought it, I only bought the 1 month, no subscription. I was like, I'm not falling into any of that subscription stuff. Wrong answer. I just spent $20 extra for it. Is what I did.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I got my first box, and I'm like, I'm going to try it for 1 month. I'm going to give it a go, all in. And I was all in from the first day it came in. I'm like, I'm not wasting my money. All in, 30 days. Let's see what happens. 3 weeks after I started drinking it, I bought 10 boxes.
Wow. It was that effective. So what did you experience in those 3 weeks to make you go from a one-time buyer spending $20 extra than you had to 3 weeks later buying 10 boxes?
Well, I was suffering from early menopause symptoms. And so I had been to the doctor.
There you go, Johnny.
6 months
Johnny Keith. Johnny Keith says
hello. I'm glad we're going to see comments. This is great. This is awesome. Yeah, so about 6 months before I bought it, I had been to the OBGYN, and I was explaining about my menopause symptoms and the issues that I was having. And I'm like, I have periods every 2 weeks, then not for 2 months. My mood is horrible. I'm a demon. I mean, I knew it was probably menopause, but I was not wanting to face it. I'm like, I'm too young. And, it's 43. And I was like, I can't sleep through the night. I'm moody. I'm crabby. I'm anxious. Because I'm not getting sleep. I'm exhausted all day long. I'm slamming caffeine all day. My blood pressure is through the roof, higher than it's ever been. And he's like, no problem, Jen. Let's get you some hormone replacement. Let's get you an antidepressant. Let's get you some anxiety meds. We'll get you a sleeping pill. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what? Not doing it. I'm not doing it. I work in a pharmacy.
Yeah.
I know how it works. You start on 3, then you're on 5, then you're on 25. Then you're laying in bed all day taking naps at age 40, 50, whatever, because you're exhausted from your medication. You're nauseous all the time. You're binging on food, waistline growing, because you're on so many stinking meds. It's ridiculous. Like I see the suffering that people go through, and I did not want to be one of those people. So when I started using this, and 3 weeks in, I was sleeping through the night. And 3 weeks in, I wasn't having the horrible cramps. And 3 weeks in, I was happy and energized and not moody anymore. And all of a sudden, Mike's like, hey, wait a minute, what's the stuff you're drinking? And I'm like, why? Why do you ask? And he's like, because you're a little less of a grizzly bear. Like
Ooh,
this is kind of nice.
I can
Like
get used to this. Yeah.
keep
Brave, yeah,
drinking
brave
it, keep
man.
drinking it. So he was all about when I went to go, push the button and buy the 10 pack to buy into the whole system. He was like, go ahead, push the button. We're good. That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
But before I give Roark a little bit of the floor here, I saw something on Facebook today, and like it could not have fit you any better. Again, I want to tell our listeners if you're a viewer, I guess currently, please comment if you have a particular question. I know Dr. Jim would love to answer it. Our
Yes.
comments are working, so this is the very first episode. It's episode 3, but it's the first episode that they're working. I can put them up
Yes.
for, so we will be thinking about those questions. But anyway, this is what I saw. Again, it was you see them all the time when you're sitting there scrolling. It was a wheelchair. I think it's what caught my attention because it's a wheelchair. I was like, what is that? And then at closer, observation, I saw those all pill bottles, and up the top, you don't want to end up here. And sadly, many do because of their crappy diet and lifestyle. So this is what I guess this is leading me to ask. You have given out these pills your whole career. I mean, it's kind of your job.
Mhm.
How are you juggling? Like, what is your mission now? Is it to get people to understand like that doesn't have to be their story?
Yeah, exactly. So I'll be honest with you, 10 years into being a pharmacist, I felt stuck being a pharmacist because I had all this debt from going to school. And I feel like a lot of professionals, whether it's nurses, doctors, pharmacists, are stuck in the same position. We've gone to school. Claudia, good to see you. Welcome in. We've gone to school for such a long time. We have racked up all this debt in selling the healthcare system as it is. So, what am I going to do at this point? Quit and work at McDonald's? Right? And 10 years in, that was the morality of what I did for a career started eating at me from the inside out. So when I found this, like I said, 3 weeks in, and it was doing something amazing, and it was doing everything he said it was doing. It was doing everything that everyone who I talked to, who he had introduced me to, it was working. I'm like, okay, this is my mission.
And when you say it's from a truck driver, because I
I'm a
think
Truck
truck
driver.
driver.
that's
Yeah.
the number one thing that I hear probably from my journey with this is, either the look or the appearance of like, you're not a doctor. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I'm not a doctor. Well, Marcus is a truck driver, I'm not a pharmacist. Like if they were to come in and look at you in the face and say, is there a more natural way? And you describe, yes, there absolutely 1000% is. They're more apt to probably listen to you than this so-called teacher, which I think is so cool because you being a pharmacist again ended up purchasing it from, and again, a truck driver. And he told you, hey, this is what's going to happen. And all of that did happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. But now you look around, we have endocrinologists, we have physicians, we have chiropractors, we have nurses, nurse practitioners. We have all of these professionals using
Yeah,
this and talking
absolutely.
about it. Like people are making change. And in the last year alone, I have had multiple clients tell me, hey, my doctor asked for the name of the stuff I'm drinking.
Mm-hmm.
He looked at my labs. He said, what are you doing?
Roark,
Are you doing?
this may help you, Roark, but you can actually tell a story with your dad, I guess, on this. Your dad recently started this, and I believe his doctor had heard about it, correct?
Yes, when he went to show them, I sent him with the link to the physician's desk reference that Dr. Jen had given me, and he went in and they knew they'd heard. So
Roark, do you have any particular before you do ask a question? Again, guys, if you are watching this, please comment. Hello's great. Again, I'm seeing people I don't even know you. I know that you are not my friend, so it is working tonight. If you have a particular question, or if you know somebody that maybe is not on the system at all, again, shoot them a message right now to ask them to, hey, jump on here, ask any question that you would like to a pharmacist. But Roark, floor is yours. What do you got for Dr. Jen tonight?
Well, I was gonna. You said something earlier about when you started. You started for the health benefits, and then the weight loss come. Talk about that. That it's not just about the weight loss. It's about the health, and then the weight loss comes. Talk about that a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I love that. So I literally started because I thought I was going to help my friends. I honestly, you guys, I didn't even think this was going to do anything for me. I was 145 pounds and I was like, I'm a tiny bit chubby. Who cares? Honestly, that's where I was. I had high blood pressure. I had acid reflux for over 15 years, and I didn't think there was any way I was ever going to get away from that. So when I started drinking the tea, and by 4 months in, my blood pressure had regulated itself. By 2 weeks in, I was off of omeprazole that I had been on
Oh,
for over
wow.
15 years. Yeah, 2 weeks in.
When you said blood pressure medication, at what age was you when you was on your very first time?
Started.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I started blood pressure medication. Let's see, it was during my first pregnancy, and baby girl is 19. So for 19 years, my blood pressure has been,
But was you in your
taking
upper 20,
medication.
upper 20s, lower 30s?
28. 28.
Wow.
Because I tell everybody, like, I went to a doctor's appointment. I was 31, and the doctor actually was like, "Have you thought about being on blood pressure medication?" I'm like, "I'm 31. You know, that's something my mom does in her 50s. You know, I didn't think that, but I didn't do it. I've never took a medication, but like my blood pressure was high and I probably should have. And thank God for honestly you, because going back to who you bought it from, you know, you saved Larry Snyder's life possibly and reversing his polycythemia. And that's the connection of you to him. And then his wife helps me. So I guess I can give you some credit as well of showing us this product and helping all of our stories with that.
Yeah, and when we talk about the health benefits versus the weight benefits, so when you have to focus on fixing those health goals, getting the gut microbiome fixed, you can do that with the time-based eating and the tea. The anti-inflammatory component of this is just incredible. That's the thing I hear people talk about first. Oh, I don't have this swelling in my fingers and toes. I'm able to walk. I'm up walking now. Now people are getting exercise, right? And it starts when you start seeing inflammation come down, the gut microbiome fixing itself, your mood changing, your energy up, sleeping through the night. These things add up to huge changes over time. I did not pay any attention to the weight. I didn't even think weight was an issue for me. I wasn't even worried about it. I knew I was a little chubby. I've had 4 kids. Everybody who's had 4 kids is chubby. Come on, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I wasn't expecting anything. And literally, and this is 100% the truth, I was walking down the hallway 4 months in. My blood pressure was good. My acid reflux was gone. I was feeling phenomenal. I couldn't have been happier with the tea. Walking, and I had never weighed myself those whole 4 months, not a single time. All right, not a single time. I'm walking down the hallway and my pajama pants fell to the floor. They just fell like and hit the floor while I'm walking. And I'm like, well, that's weird.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Obviously, I'm not as chubby as I used to be. And so I literally, and I don't even have a scale in my house. I got in the car and drove to my mom's down the street. I'm not joking, guys. Because I'm like, I don't even know how much I weigh. I went to my mom's down the street, and instead of 145, it said 122. I about fell over. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? I went and I hadn't even paid it a darn bit of attention. I go home, I'm putting on my work pants, and I'm like, they're all falling off. Like all my clothes are falling off. Where have I been?
Yeah.
I guess I had been wearing clothes that were so snug and tight for so long. And that slow transition from, oh, my clothes are tight and uncomfortable to, oh, my clothes are comfortable to, oh, my clothes are too big. I didn't even notice.
So I believe I've heard you say before that, you know, 0 side effects or whatever. And then I believe you end up correcting yourself and you're like, I'm sorry, there is actually there is a side effect and you're going to have to buy a new wardrobe.
Yes.
Did you have to buy a new wardrobe?
Yes, I did. And It was crazy because I went to the store and I was trying on these sizes that I never thought I was going to be in. Good to see you, Larry. Welcome in. These sizes I never thought I was going to be in, and I was trying them on, and they were still too big. And I just could not believe it. And then I ended up in Florida in March with my two teenage daughters who are 19 and 17. And I'm like, hey, none of my shorts fit, and I haven't gone shopping yet. Can I wear yours? And they fit.
Really?
My teenage daughter. I'm like, we're wearing this. This is crazy. This is like, I never thought in a million years. So for me, the health benefits, it's the health benefits. You start stressing out about, I've got people that want to weigh in every single day. Y'all, that could be water. That could be you didn't have a bowel movement today. There is no need to weigh in each and every day. When you start focusing on good health and wellness, you start focusing on food, the weight just falls off. Let it go. Let it go when it wants to go. Don't stress it. Don't worry about it. It goes. It's going for so many people that
And
work with me.
so somebody that's brand new to this, or somebody that maybe they've dabbled in it, maybe they thought they didn't have success, or maybe it didn't work for them. Do you have any words to that first timer, or the person that maybe gave it a go? Maybe it wasn't as honest as they should. Like you mentioned, when yours came in, you was like all in. I want to see what this
Yeah.
is about. Not everybody's all in. You know what I mean? And Marcus mentioned that. I mean, it sat on his counter for 2 months. People will come in, they think that if I drink a packet here now and whenever, just kind of whenever I think about it, that it would work. And we know that you got to be kind of serious about it. But what encouraging words do you have to those people that maybe, again, needed a little boot, want to try it possibly second time, or are still thinking about, I think I'm going to do this? What encouragement do you have for those people?
Well, one of the things I'd like to say is that really your health is your wealth. Really, it really truly is. And if you have to get to a point where you start really logically paying attention to what's going on in your life. Do you want to be on more medication? Do you want to be overweight? Do you want to be unable to tie your own shoes? Do you want to be bedbound, like in your 60s? Like, because that's what I'm seeing. That's real life for a lot of people. Do you want to be on 20, 30, 40 medications? You look at the alternative to if you don't get healthy, you look at the alternative and you have to say to yourself, I got to give myself 100% shot. I mean, this has a 90-day money back guarantee. Like, go all in for 90 days. Well, the worst thing that's going to happen to you is you have to make a phone call to a 1-800 number and ask for your money back. Like, go all in. Go all in. You're not losing anything to just do that.
Yeah, again, going back to that word scam, I think a lot of people may view that statement, what you just said, 90-day money back guarantee. It's like, that's just a talking point. That goes back to that scam idea. And it's actual truth. I mean,
It is.
literally the company is who loses out because they send your money back and they lost their product.
Yeah, and they stand behind it. I've had people who just said they just did not like lemon, who absolutely could not stand the lemon flavor. And so they asked for their money back. And then 3 months later, she called me up and said, okay, do you think they'll let me try it again? Because I know I felt really better when I was on it. So, yeah, don't don't be one of those people. But I, I talk to people 3 months in, if you give it 100%, if you are drinking the system, you are drinking the tea, you are drinking
Yeah.
the fiber. If you are just showing up, putting it in your car, putting it in the desk at work so that you have it with you, not
Yeah.
forgetting it, just
Uh-huh.
taking that time, putting in that effort, and you give it 90 days, there's not a single person I know who has given it 90 days and legit put in the effort to just drink the product, not even eat all the better food, but just drink the product, who hasn't gotten results they were excited about.
Yeah.
Not a single
Yeah,
person.
I like that you just said that, because a lot of people, oh, I didn't have one, or oh, I didn't have one with me, and they skip it. And you're right. Stash a few in your car, stash a few here and there, and that's never going to be a thing. Before I give it off to Roark here, I'm sure he's got a million more questions. Again, guys, I cannot reiterate this enough. We're about halfway through the show tonight. Please comment. I have a ton of hellos. That's awesome. If anybody is in here watching that you've been curious, you've been sitting on the sideline, and you have a question, any particular question at all, there is not going to be a bad one. I would love to Dr. Jen to answer that tonight. But Roark, do you have a question? That's our whole point. We'd love for our audience to have some.
I do. One thing I've noticed is I battled gout, and I was having trouble. I was starting to have trouble with my kidneys. I think that since I've started the tea, that is so much better. And I have never asked you, is that a benefit of the tea and the system and that whole in the protocol helping those things?
So I see people who have gout, who have with the uric acid, right? I have people with kidney stones, people with various a lot of autoimmune flare-ups, skin conditions, all of those things. Good nutrition helps all of those things. What the system is doing for you is, yes, it's anti-inflammatory, which isn't directly changing your gout, but it's also increasing your hydration. Okay. And then every single time that you're using something that's anti-inflammatory, plus you're increasing your hydration, you're flushing things faster through your kidneys. Your kidneys are going to be healthier because of that. You want to get rid of that uric acid issue, it's got to go through your kidneys. All right. And if your kidneys aren't happy and healthy because you're eating too much sugar, too many carbs, they're inflamed. They're slowing down their excretion of everything. And now you're backing up the uric acid. You see, it's all related. It really truly is all related.
Oh
So
yeah.
yes.
I would like for you to go a little deeper with that. You hit about the carbs and the sugars and you do a great job, which again, it comes down to your education and knowing more of the fancy words. I know that you'll do a much better job at describing this to people, but kind of describe what goes on when you do implement time-based eating. Again, like some people say fast, some people hate that word. They think it's like a bad word. So you time-based eating, genuinely, minimum 16 hours, don't put anything in your mouth, 8-hour window to eat. But what are the benefits to that? And then talk about like the insulin, because I always try to talk to people about it. Your insulin goes up, so bring it down. Kind of go into that spiel for anybody that's listening.
So the benefits of time-based eating are phenomenal. Like there's just so many, and there's so many medical professionals now who are touting the benefits of time-based eating. Like it's
There's a great
absolutely
one.
incredible.
There's a great one, Jen.
All of my
Daniela.
off of all your indigestion medicine. Yes,
Yes.
Daniela, that's great. So excited for
Yeah.
you. Yeah, that was me too. That was my first thing that happened off the omeprazole. And you guys know long term, omeprazole can cause osteoporosis. Okay, there has been some cancer studies that have been with long term PPI use and H1. So be careful with the medication, guys. Long term use of medication, there are long term side effects. Okay.
Daniela, thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Again, thank you so much.
Yes, girl. Yes.
Have the floor again.
So when it comes to time-based eating or fasting, the benefit of pushing back your first meal of the day, having 16 hours without food in your gut is phenomenal for your body. So 90%, well, the studies vary. I've seen some as low as 75, some as high as 90. 75 to 90% of Americans have leaky gut disease. And I don't know if you know anything about this. This is something I've been preaching about lately because it's just so many of us are struggling with it. It's inflammatory gut. That's why we see so much Crohn's disease, IBS, diverticulitis, reflux, all these issues. Your gut goes from here to here, all the way from the top to the bottom, right? Mouth
So
to
I have
anus.
a friend. I have a friend actually with IBS. So it would be great to help him. And he
Yeah.
actually started the protocol back 5 days ago. He's one of those got to come back around the second time. But the first time, and he was on it for 2 to 3 weeks. His IBS went away after like 10 days, and then it wasn't good enough for him, I guess. And he still quit it. I'm like, dude, that makes no sense. You've had IBS for 10
No.
years.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? It's just incredible. And I think so many people think, oh, I drank it long enough, I fixed it. And then they just go back to eating the same junk.
Yeah.
But this is an anti-inflammatory. The tea itself has anti-inflammatory properties in that chlorogenic acid and the xanthins. And so it literally takes down inflammation everywhere, including your gut. I mean, that's where you're consuming it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with time-based eating, when you push back your first meal of the day, if you have leaky gut disease, which like we just said, up to 90% of Americans do, when you are in a state of having leaky gut, every single thing you consume inflames your gut. So even your fruits, your vegetables, your protein, your healthy stuff that usually wouldn't make you feel like yuck. This is why we're seeing so many people with IBS, because people are eating inflammatory food 24/7. They're causing themselves that IBS issue. This isn't a genetic component we just turned on. It's a dietary issue. You caused yourself that issue and you can reverse it. When you give it that time in the morning to not eat, that's 16 hours without inflammation.
Yeah.
That's letting your gut heal. Your body literally is self-healing. It really is. You give it the time, it's going to heal itself. You give it the good nutrition, it's going to build new cells. 16 to 17 hours is that window where it would go through autophagy. We start breaking down the zombie cells, destroying the inflamed cells in the body. Your body starts self-eating. Basically, there's not enough energy to shunt because you haven't eaten for 16 hours, right? Your body shunts all the energy to the cells that are growing, that are healthy. It doesn't shunt the energy to the dead, dying, diseased, inflamed, cancer, that kind of stuff. The bad cells, the cells that aren't healthy. It shuts off the energy portal right to them and they die off naturally. This is self healing. Allowing your body to go without inflammation is self healing. This is why we see so many people within weeks having so many less symptoms. It's crazy.
Look, here we go. Daniela again. Then I've got a question, actually. Miss Aaron Good. I'm not going to be able to miss her, but Daniela says that she can't live without it. Sick and cold, stomach bugs. Can't live without the tea. That's awesome, Daniela. So happy for you. I can honestly say my allergies, I usually have spring and fall time allergies, but prior to the tea, I've not had any allergies. My wife can vouch for that. It's unbelievable. It's been unbelievable. But here's a question, Dr. Jen. Finally got a question from somebody.
Yeah.
How many times a day would you recommend drinking this drink? So that's great. Miss Good, nice to have you in here. But go ahead, Dr. Jen, and answer your question.
So the protocol is that we drink the Unimate yerba mate extract first thing in the morning as our breakfast. Okay, it increases the glucagon-like peptide hormone by 70%. So what that is a hormone that helps satiety. So basically, we're not hungry for 4 to 6 hours after drinking it. We drink a second tea between lunch and dinner, and that's just so we don't snack. So we're not ravenous hungry in the afternoon. So we're not snacking. We're not leaning into the Starbucks latte. We're getting a little bit of energy. That was my issue. The Starbies in the afternoon. We're getting a little bit of energy. We're getting hydration, and we're not hungry. And then the balanced fiber, that's how the kit comes, 2 teas and 1 fiber. The balanced fiber we drink before our most carb-dense meal of the day. The people that do the best, and this is why I constantly recommend this, I recommend have 1 low carb or no carb or super healthy meal and have 1 meal that's whatever the heck you want. Just drink the fiber. And those are the people who are killing it with the system. They're
Especially
just doing amazing.
The people that just begin. To give you a visual, it's this right here. That's 1 day's worth, Miss Good. And this is $5.64 a day. You are not buying breakfast anymore. If you are a breakfast person, like you may think, oh gosh, I can't do without breakfast. I promise you're going to be able to. That's what the tea's for, what a lot of people talk about. But she just mentioned you have 1 of these for your breakfast. You have 1 of these after lunch. And then depending on what you're eating, because she just mentioned, have 1 of your meals that's, fairly healthy, looking at no carb, something like that. Whichever one that you're wanting to indulge in, drink this before, and you are good to go. So here's another one by Miss Good. She says, is there any other flavors that you can buy? So yes, there is. You can buy currently, you can buy lemon. Or you can buy lemon ginger for the Unimate. I would encourage you to do lemon first time. And then you have orange and a mixed berry at the moment for your balanced drink. I prefer first time people to do mixed berry. I love it, actually. Not that orange is bad. I just think I have had a few people that's tried orange their first time, like, I'm not. But I've had literally zero people tell me that mixed berry is bad. So
Same here.
Roark, I want to check in with you because you kind of have a good story. Where are you at currently? Because I know that you saw a picture of my parents, and I've not, I've kind of not been in contact with you for a little while here. Again, things have been kind of crazy. Oh, this is great. Casey Dalton, mixed berry is better than orange. And then he says, then he says facts. By the way, Jen, I'll have to talk to you about Casey after the show. But Roark, I'm checking in with you. What is your story at the moment? How much have you lost? How long have you been on it? I can't even remember.
We started, if you remember, we started March 1st. I just got done hosting, or we just got done hosting the district tournament at school. And we said, hey, we're going to start on March 1st. And me and my wife, we started together. We decided we were going to do it together. That way we could help each other, keep each other accountable. And we did that. And I don't know if you remember, but I started out. So, it just was falling off. And now, what are we now? 4 months in?
A little over 3 months.
Not even
March
full months. Yeah. 60 pounds down.
Wow.
Blood pressure has not been over 110/70. The real reason I started, I wanted to help my dad reverse type 2 diabetes. So my mom started. She's having success. She's the one that told me, she goes, this is not a diet, Andrew. She goes, we're just drinking this stuff. It's not a diet. I can do this. And she was so encouraged by that. And then my dad was so upset that he wasn't going to get to start it. And he showed it to his diabetes doctor. They talked to them and they give him the go ahead. And now my mom texted me today. They're in North Carolina. And I said, hey, how you guys doing today? She said, Dad's going to have to stop drinking this tea. He's working like he was in his 50s in this 90-degree heat. And she said, he's going to have to stop because he's wearing me out. So it's like it's took 15 years off his life. So all of us are doing really well with it.
Awesome.
It's changed. It's changed my family. And now I'm starting to get to branch out. The way I see you, Jen is generation 1. Larry would be generation 2. Isaac is generation 3. So this is a 4th generation helper here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That's
after our stories.
Marcus, it's 5th. Marcus is 5th generation. So, and that's the way. That's what me and you want to do, Isaac. We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
We want to help people change the road that they're on. A year ago had thyroid cancer. Weight was going through the roof. Couldn't try the shots. So I had to find something and saw Deco Wilson and Sandy Wilson in a picture. And I said, I've got to figure this out. I do want to give a shout out. Jason Lake just started. He is on here watching with us, Isaac. Okay. Mr. Lake. He's on here watching with us. Started. He's having real good success. Dr. Jen, I think he's losing some weight and he's got a broke ankle. Just had surgery for a broke ankle. He's on a scooter, still losing weight. It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Well, my good friend Steven, who joined me just after Larry did, he reversed his type 2. He's lost an intense amount of weight. He's doing amazing. His wife was in a very tragic car accident, like a very, very bad car accident. Like, she is very lucky to be alive. And because it destroyed her hip, her pelvis, it's hard for her to walk. She walks with a cane. She's lost 80 pounds.
Wow.
Right? This isn't someone who can run, who can lift a bunch of weights and do all those things. And she's done amazing. So I hear people all the time. They're like, well, Jen, I just had surgery, or I just hurt myself, or I just did. That doesn't mean you can't eat good food. That's what this is.
As Larry mentions here, he says getting inflammation off will make healing so much quicker. And he's spot on there. The inflammation is a big key.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I've thought about 2 things as we've been mentioning here that kind of keep getting brought up, and I'd love to hear your take on this. Number one, the shots. You're a pharmacist. You used to prescribe them, and you may still give them if obviously the individual wants them. But what is your thoughts on that? If I'm not mistaken, I remember a story, and it may be actually what made you look for an alternative route. Did you not have like a best friend that came in and then something happened with her stomach? Talk a little bit about that, because I know a lot of people in our area, I guess, that they instantly go to the shot. And then, like, I'm a part of a teachers group on Facebook. It's got like over 30,000 people in there. And I tell Roark this all the time. They're constantly posting on there like my insurance ain't going to be covering Zepbound, or I don't want to go to Wegovy or whatever. Like, what do I do? What do I do? And every time I've commented something, like literally they remove our comment from this group. But anyway, talk about the shot a little bit and why this is a great alternative to go with.
So when the shot first came out, we had the drug reps come into the pharmacy, give us the whole spiel about it, tell us how it was the new miracle and everybody in the world needed to be on it. Literally, they said everyone, which of course at the time I should have thought of, hey, this doesn't sound right. But they were talking mostly about type 2 diabetes at first and reversing that condition, like getting that condition better. And then they went into weight from there. And when it came to the injections, I had a friend who basically told me that they were like vomiting every single day, like could not keep water down, like
Wow.
sick. And my answer was, did you stop the injection yet? And they're like, well, I've only been on it for a month. I go, and you can't keep down solid food? Well, I'm losing weight. Well, of course.
You're not keeping water down.
Oh my gosh, it was just incredible. And then I had another young lady in her 20s come into the pharmacy, and she's like, Jen, I see little black spots and I start to get really dizzy all the time. And I'm like, when did this start? Well, when I started the Ozempic. And I said, okay, well, I think maybe your blood sugar is getting too low. You need to be eating some more food. Well, I can't eat because I'm not hungry. I'm like, okay, well, maybe you need to back down your dose on the Ozempic. You know, I mean, we got to be able to eat food, guys. We can't be. And then she goes, well, I figured out if I drink a 20-ounce Mountain Dew, I don't pass out. I said, really? And she goes, yeah. So as long as I drink 3 20-ounce Mountain Dews a day, I do not pass out. And I'm like, well, isn't this a great health? Like, these are some great health benefits, right?
Yeah.
This is working wonderfully for people. I mean, and that's not, and then I had a woman on Facebook see my post last year who reached out to me, and she goes, Jen, I was only on the shot for a month. Okay, I was on the lowest dose. I was only on it for a month. My doctor is saying I have to get part of my small bowel removed because it's completely paralyzed and there's nothing else I can do. If I start drinking your tea, will my intestines start working again? I'm like, girl, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. And that's the stuff that I've been seeing. And so from that, at that point, I stopped recommending them to anyone. I was just like, all right, guys, do what you got to do. If that's what you want to do, I'm going to put it in a box and hand it to you all day long. But please, there's alternatives. There's better ways. We got to start eating real food. The real food's there. It's always been an option. And we haven't been choosing it. We've been choosing the processed crap. We've been going through the drive-thru. We've been making Starbucks billionaires. You know, we got to make some better choices.
Okay, so I don't know if he's still on, but I'm going to go ahead and add him. So if he's not on, he won't hear this. But I am adding Casey Dalton in this because a big thing with him, again, he started round 2. He's 5 days in. He's lost another like 5 to 7 pounds in his first 5 days. Like, he knows it works. It took away his IBS first 7 to 10 days. First time he did it, he lost 20 some pounds, whatever. Then he may have fell in the both that you said they think they just go back to doing what they were used to do and all that. But anyway, money is a big deal to him. Okay. Again, anybody that's paying attention or watching this, please shoot any question that you want in the comments and we will answer it, or Dr. Jen will. I'll let her do it. So he is caught up on that this costs $5.64 a day. So much so that he messaged me and was like, it's like $2,000. He like $2,000 in his head for the year. And I'm like, okay, you're not wrong, I guess, Casey. But this same man, we was out on a golf course about 2 weeks now. And he had – have you played much golf, Jen?
Yeah, only the kind of golf where you're basically just
okay.
You're not really you're ingesting carbs the whole time.
I promise.
More of a carb event than it is an athletic event.
So there's a point to this story, I promise. So we're out on a particular hole. I'm pretty sure it was hole 13 at General Burnside Island. And, he's sitting in the fairway actually, and he has a 7-iron in his hand. And 7-iron, should probably go 150 plus yards for him, and let's just say he hits it probably 12. Okay. And it had nothing to do with the iron. It had everything to do with the person holding the club. And he tells me, he says, I grab this club before I break it. And I'm like, be quiet, put it in the bag. You know what? You don't play enough to get mad. And he proceeds to take his 7-iron and he breaks it literally across his knee, like right in front of me. And my comment to him was, wow, we can't afford 564 a day, but we can afford to break a 7-iron across our knee, right? So I had to tell that story because that's a real life story and happened 2 weeks ago. But what do you have to tell those people, I guess? Because again, it's like, man, I want to be healthier. Like I want to, but man, that's a lot of money. Like all they see is money, money, money. What do you have to say to those people?
Well, I think that a lot of people struggle at looking forward and thinking about what the cost is of the doctor's appointments, what the cost is of the prescriptions, what the cost is of the snacks that you're consuming all day long. For me, the cost of Starbucks was ridiculous. And when you went back and looked at the credit card bill and you could see how much you were spending, you're like, whoa, I just cut my budget by $200 by drinking this. And for some
Yeah.
people, that's how it is. But so many people don't realize, like, look at your parents. If your parents are struggling with type 2, if your parents are struggling with blood pressure, cholesterol, weight, any of those issues, and they're on a whole bunch of meds, ask them. Ask them how much that stuff costs. Plus, you're going to the doctor's office, you're missing work. Like, there is a cost to all of these things, to not caring about our health and to not eating the right food. And so many people they just don't conceptualize it. They don't think about what all that costs. Okay, so a good story is Mike, okay, my fiance. Yeah,
Well,
hospital stay.
yeah.
Brianna's a nurse. She knows the hospital stays. You guys are incredible. So, my fiance, Mike, when I first met him 5 years ago, this man, he had the man flu every single winter, the whole
Oh,
winter,
there we
the
go.
whole winter, and in a severe amount of ways. I mean, do you know how much money we spent on cold medicine? He had to miss work. He had to go to the clinic and get antibiotics. I'm not joking, guys. On the inhalers, on the Symbicort and the albuterol, and he's like, Jen, I always have pneumonia. I get pneumonia every single year. I had pneumonia ever since I was a little kid. I am always sick. This is who I am. This is always right. Cough drops. I can't even tell you how much I spent on cough drops on this man. Okay, this stuff it's expensive to be sick. It really truly is.
Yeah.
And now this last winter, so he's been on the system with me, right? This last winter, I'm like, do you realize it's July? When's the last time you got an inhaler? It's been over a year since he paid a copay for the Symbicort. Symbicort, because he had asthma so bad. Not anymore. He's
Wow.
not getting the Symbicort. He's not getting the albuterol. He's been on no antibiotics. He's had no clinic visits. He's had his once a year doctor's appointment. And he sits there and starts thinking about it. And he's like, I can't believe that. I haven't been to the doctor. I haven't been on antibiotics. I've been to the clinic for nothing. Isn't that, I mean, you guys, that's money. You don't
Yeah.
think about it. You don't think about it. I mean, anyone else been to the pharmacy and had to go buy the Aleve and the cough drops and the dextromethorphan, the Delsum cough syrup and all that? This stuff's expensive. $12 for a little bottle of cough syrup because you're constantly sick because your immune system's garbage. And
I,
now we're literally drinking antioxidants all day long, and our immune systems are amazing.
I can say for my person, since being on I've only been what I would call sick one time. Amy was, I'm pretty sure what she had, I had. And Amy's experience was, I'm not exaggerating. I was in the middle of basketball season too. Amy's experience was literally like the 7-day death. Like she was about to die. And if she was on here, she would, vouch for that. And my experience was literally in 48 hours. I was gone. I was golden. Like, I mean, I had it on a Monday, didn't feel that great at work and stuff. And like literally by Wednesday, I was good. And I was like, I know I just had what you had. And she's like, I cannot believe you don't feel like death. I'm like, honey, I seriously don't. Like, I didn't even miss a day of work. Now I sucked it up on Tuesday. Like, Mondays when I started not feeling that well. And then Tuesday I was like, I don't feel my best. And then Wednesday I was like, I'm kind of over it. So it's kind of weird. But Claudia looks like she has a question for us. She says, Is it okay to have black coffee or green tea with the system?
Yeah, it absolutely is. What we always recommend though is you drink your tea first. The tea is the first thing you get in your body. It's the first thing you consume first thing in the morning. If you want to drink like a little glass of water with some little salt in it, I know some people really want to hydrate first thing in the morning. That's fine. But then dive into your tea as your first real drink that you're consuming in the morning. It does have some caffeine in it, so I don't want you to over caffeinate yourself. And then if you get in that hydration and you still want the coffee, you still want the green tea, go for it. Go for it, you guys.
Again, I'm going to leave this screen up for everybody that maybe is paying attention. Comment anything you would like, and Dr. Jen will do a great job of explaining it to you or answering your question. I have one personally for my wife, Dr. Jen.
Mhm.
She's a coffee lover, okay, and she's been on the system now for about a month. She had our second child, and she kind of had a little downtime, but she's been on it for about a month, and I can say she genuinely used to wake up every morning and have her foo-foo or whatever you call coffee. She would make her own espresso and things like that. She genuinely has quit that. She drinks tea in the morning religiously. We still have some apple spice available, which, listen,
Lord,
I'll be honest.
Do not say that.
No,
Lord,
listen,
you're going to get me in trouble.
I'm gonna be honest for a second. I didn't understand how good that stuff would be, and I screwed up last fall and didn't buy near enough. If that comes back out, this is no joke. If that comes back out this fall, I'm buying so much because listen, it's the best way ever to start your morning. But
when they said they were almost out of it, I bought 20 boxes, sir. And he's going through it. Mike will not part with that to save his life.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Anyway,
if you want a bootleg a box.
Yeah. My wife, if she wants to have that coffee, right? I mean, obviously she's going to have a day where she's like, you know what? I would really like to have that Starbucks, or I would really like to have this, because we're human here. We're not saying Starbucks has died. You can still,
Yeah.
when would she be best at having that? Give her some, I guess, guidance on if she wanted to have a coffee. Obviously she's not having it every day, but what should she do if she had a hankering for a nice coffee like she used to?
Have it in your eating period, okay, between your lunch and dinner time, if that's what you're going to want to do. So, even if it's just eating lunch and then you're going to have your coffee. And honestly, I've had a Starbucks here and there in the last 2 years that I've been doing this. I drink a fiber before, because I'll be honest, the coffee that I drink, it's got sugar in it. Now I pick the low sugar option ones. So instead of doing the big caramel latte with 2 extra shots of espresso and all the extra foo-foo, so it's 60 grams of sugar, I don't do that anymore. I pick the 16-gram option because I know I'm going to feel, and I'll be honest with you, if you go for the super sugary stuff, you're going to feel nauseous and you're going to feel like crap because your body doesn't want it. Your body doesn't want it.
I found you somebody.
Steve.
Maybe Steve.
Steve will still put a post with his apple spice on there from time to time.
Steve, I know a man that would pay.
Roark. You may be Rachel Roark's best friend, Steve.
We're hiding and hoarding it, you guys. We're hiding.
I know a man that would pay a pretty penny, Steve. You can name your price right now, brother.
And that's what's funny is Mike is like, the apple spice is so good. We'll just save it. And then we'll be able to sell it. And he didn't even wasn't really in love with it at that point. And now he's obsessed with it and he will not part with it. It's so funny. Isn't it wild though how your taste buds change and you start craving better food and better nutrition?
My wife replaced her morning coffee with a hot apple spice tea. And she really likes that apple spice. So I don't know. We need to encourage them to bring that back. And then Isaac's wife made a post one day that had an apple spice in it. And oh my Lord, do not! You're going to get me in trouble, Isaac.
What, one of these?
I've got to find.
I was just going to say, I think I have some too.
Don't do it. I've got to find.
What do I got?
Hey, Rachel.
I'll be coming to Illinois.
I know. I'm gonna have to be hiding it, you guys. Has she tried doing the hot lemon with the cinnamon stick?
Oh
my gosh, that sounds awesome. Expand.
You just go to whatever grocery store and buy the little cinnamon sticks.
Uh-huh.
and put a cinnamon stick in and brew your hot tea, right?
Oh,
And
this
let
just
that
sounds
cinnamon
good.
stick just sit in there while you're sipping on it, and it gives it a little zip. That was how Mike first started liking the tea, because he doesn't like tea at all. And so I was making it hot at first because we bought it. We started in October, and it was the fall, starting to get cold season. And I, just like your guys' wives, I drank hot coffee every single morning. So I replaced it with hot tea. And he took a sip of it for the first time, and he's like, "This tastes like tea." I'm like, "It doesn't even taste like tea. What are you talking about?" But I put a cinnamon stick in it, and he was obsessed and in love. And
So
it
the
does give it a
cinnamon
little bit of a little, yeah, it's a
cinnamon
little bit
does not
more.
break your it does
You
not
won't
break
break
your
your
fast.
fast.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm
Hey,
doing that literally probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have one more question, Dr. Jen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so and uh, since I've lost the weight, I have never been this weight probably since middle school, maybe even longer than that because I was a large child. But I've started to try to exercise, so I bought the Stronghold. Okay, so with the Stronghold, I'm taking it during my eating window.
Mhm.
Is that correct, or can I open my window and close my window with the Stronghold, so I won't mess up my fast? What is the best way?
When are you working out?
Most of the time, if I'm going to work out, it's going to be first thing in the morning.
Okay. So you can do your stronghold with your workout. Okay. It is a minor amount. I mean, it's a little bit of protein. You're getting that HMB, you're getting the leucine in there. It's not a lot that's going to, I mean, it's not going to throw your sugar through the roof or anything like that. It is going to be a little something in your gut, but we're going to assume that 3 months in, you've been healing that leaky gut, and now your body is not going to be inflamed by that. That's the good assumption there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it shouldn't spike your blood sugar.
Dr. Jen, as we are going to wrap up here, I've held you for an hour hostage, and I have learned one thing tonight: is I'm going to be putting a cinnamon stick in a warm lemon
Try
tea very
it.
soon.
Try
But
it.
some final thoughts. Again, what else would you like someone new to the protocol to know, or any additional advice that you'd like to share that maybe is on your heart at this current moment?
I think the best way to end this is how I end my lives every single day. And that is, please be powerfully present in your health and wellness. Self care is the best health care. Preventive medicine, $1 worth of preventive medicine is worth $10, right? Of cure. Let's be honest, if you can prevent illness, prevent blood pressure, cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, you're ahead of the game. Being powerfully present in your health and wellness, don't sit in your doctor's office and let them write prescriptions all day long and just be like, this will get me through. Because your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar meds, they aren't lowering any of those things. It is just temporarily holding it down until the next day where you have to take another pill. You're welcome, Brianna. So good to see you. It's a temporary fix. It's literally 24 hours is keeping you in a better state of mind. It's not getting to the root cause and fixing that illness. And that's just it. Fixing the root cause of illness is available to you. Y'all, it's easy and it tastes good. Right? You got a 90-day money back guarantee. And I know it sounds like a sales pitch to say that, but it's the truth. It's the truth.
Roark, Roark.
Larry Snyder, what in the world?
He's a
Larry may get
holdout. He's been a
Hey,
Larry may
holdout.
get
man.
he may get his house painted for free.
Ooh, he's been
Guys,
freezing you out, Roark. Looks like it. Man knows you need apple spice and just now letting
Larry,
you know.
all right.
I love
Well,
it.
Dr. Jen, we want to thank you again. I really enjoy that middle picture. I see you kind of at work and like, voila,
Yeah.
here I am.
Yeah.
But again, your knowledge is great. Again, I want to encourage everybody, obviously, if you jump on board and want to try this, not only can you use myself and Roark as a resource, but Dr. Jen is literally a resource as well, phone call away. I think she's making it her life mission to now help people again get off and get away from the medications, which is crazy to hear. I hate to put this up for you, Roark, but he said it's going to be a Chris Benjamin. But
Where do I
That's
meet you, Larry?
But
It's funny.
Jen, again, we appreciate your time, and if you need anything from us, we're a phone call away. And thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you guys for, hey, you guys all stepped up and gave it a chance. That's all we
Yes.
ever ask, is for people to just give it a chance to make some change in your life. And you did. And look where you've gotten. Crazy.
Yeah.
18 boxes of
Yeah.
apple
Yeah.
on. All right,
Yeah.
guys, we got
He,
plenty of apple. Let's start
he can
trading
get us.
here. Let's
He
go.
can get
Let's
us.
go.
He can get us to the fall. So,
Thank
again,
you,
Dr. Jen,
Sharon.
if you need anything from us, we're a phone call away. And again, have a great rest of your night and
You
Sunday
too.
tomorrow. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you.
Man, Roark, I'm telling you, that was probably one of the most down to earth ones we've had. She not great.
Yeah, she does a great job, presenting the science of it with some humility. She does an absolutely amazing job with that.
She does, and I like her story of Steven says Steve says that Larry and Steve should hold an auction to the highest bidder. I agree with that, Steve. If you're interested, if anything tonight maybe piqued your interest, again, feel free to direct message me at any time. If you would like to say yes right now, again, you don't even have to direct message me. You say, you know what, I'm all in with this. It will take you 5 to 7 days to get your product when you order, but you can take a screenshot of this screen right now, and you can tap on Roark's name there that scanned the shop. You can tap on mine. We genuinely do not care. What we genuinely are trying to do is help people get healthier and achieve their health goals. And we have a long list of resources that want to do the same. So, Roark, with that, do you have any final thoughts or final words tonight?
Well, if you're watching this live and you're seeing it and you know somebody that needs this system, if you know somebody that's having trouble with type 2 diabetes, having trouble now with leaky gut, having trouble with kidney problems, cholesterol, high blood pressure, share this with them and say, hey, this is something we need you need to watch this and reach out to these two guys, because that's what we want to do. We want to help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I have nothing else for this one. Again, it was a great third episode. Let's find somebody else in another state. Our whole plan is to get all 50 states covered and brought onto the show, and then I don't know what comes from there. But sorry for the delay that we've had, and we will be firing this back up. And our next guest will also be female, and we will continue rocking. So, Roark, have a great night, man, and we will see you next time.
All right, I'm headed to Larry's house.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you need to call Steve too. Steve's got the stash.
Yeah, where's Steve
Hey,
at?
Steve's not put a number on his yet. Larry said $100. Steve comes in at 95. It's sold.
I got a Prius. I don't, I can get somewhere.
All right, let's have a great night, brother.
See you, man.
See ya.
You are going to get scammed. You're going to get scammed your entire life. And I think you already know this, right? You go to the grocery store and it says organic or grass fed, but it's really not. You got scammed. You get scammed via text on your phone all the time. There's scammers everywhere, right, guys? I mean, let's be honest. It's a problem. It's a serious problem. And that's why I know when you get on this platform and you see me and I'm talking about supplements and I'm talking about getting healthy and blood pressure and cholesterol and blood sugar problems just going away and menopause symptoms just dissolving and the waistline just completely going, you don't believe me because you've been scammed. And you understand that scammers exist and you understand that there's scammers everywhere. And I get it because I've been there too. I've been through that situation. I've dealt with people who've lied to me. I've dealt with people who've sold me something and it's not what it really was supposed to be. You're not alone. You're not alone. But if you've been flipping through the TikTok, through the Facebook, through all the stuff, and you see these little packets, these little supplements that people are talking about, and you're like, too good to be true, it is a scam. Boom, it's not. Maybe the person that you're seeing is exaggerating. Maybe they're candy coating it. Maybe they're doing all these things that really freak you out, that push you over the edge, that are super salesy, stuff like that, that makes it really feel like negative energy and feel like a scam. I get that. Let me sell you straight. This is what I look like before. Okay. I am a mom. I am 45 and I have 4 children. This is what I look like now. This, guys, this. Do you understand this? This is size 2 and 0. This is size 10s. That's the difference. Now, I didn't get in this for weight loss. I got in this for health. I got in this because I was on 2 blood pressure medications and omeprazole for over 15 years. That is a long time. And there's long-term side effects to using medication for long-term. And I didn't want those side effects or those problems. I was wanting to get off the medication. I am now off of the 3 prescriptions. I'm on 0 prescriptions. I am down to this, right? Instead of this. So if you want to learn more,